There are things that are best never spoken out loud. Not because they are dangerous, but because a person is not yet ready to hear them without ruining their own life. Since ancient times, people have believed that disaster comes not when walls collapse, but when the mind collapses. Thus have great kingdoms fallen, not from swords, not from hunger, but from the greed of those who worshipped gold more than their own souls. Material things are like sand poured from the palm of your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it disappears. The wise understand this. They do not chase the glitter of coins, do not build their destiny on luxury, do not measure themselves by the number of things. Because they know. What can be lost was never yours. Wealth is loud. Wisdom is always quiet. And those who choose silence live the most peacefully of all. Material things are like a mirage. You walk toward them, thinking, just one more step and I'll take what's mine. But when you touch them, they vanish. And all that remains is an emptiness in your arms and a heaviness in your chest. Wealth has a life of its own. Markets fall, disasters happen, people betray, things break. Everything that seemed solid yesterday can turn to dust tomorrow. The Stoic knows this. And so he isn't afraid of losses, he's prepared for them in advance. He doesn't boast about what might disappear. He doesn't arouse envy. He doesn't tempt fate. He's like a man walking on thin ice. Calm, quiet, not wasting his energy on noise. In a world where everyone competes to shine the loudest, the wise choose to remain invisible. Because everything external is temporary. But what's inside is truly yours. Those who don't cling to material things gain what neither time, nor chance, nor human greed can steal. Inner freedom. The greatest deception in the world is the belief that a person's worth is measured by what they wear, what they own, and what others envy. But the wise know, all this is just a shadow. Truly precious is what cannot be bought. Your ability to think, choose, understand, forgive, learn, and maintain dignity when everything around you crumbles. Treasures worth millions can be lost in a second. But character, discipline, and intellect are treasures hidden too deeply for fate to take them. Therefore, the wise do not collect things. They collect themselves. Every morning they ask, "Am I better than I was yesterday?" And this question is more important than 1,000 things bought. Life becomes easier when you stop chasing luxury. Because it never comes running towards you. But if you build your character, the world begins to change around you. As if someone were quietly turning the sun in your direction. Simple is enough. The real is deeper. And the superfluous is always superfluous. Wise people rarely talk about their wealth. And not because they hide it. They simply understand. What you talk about too loudly, over time begins to possess you. When a person boasts about their possessions, envy always appears in its shadow. And envy is a silent thirst for destruction. It is foreign, but its consequences become yours. That's why the Stoics seem to say to themselves, "Don't tell the world what can be taken away. Tell them what can inspire." In conversation, the wise do not put on display. They enrich the mind of their interlocutor. Rather than showing off the size of their house. Not listing their possessions. Not adorning themselves with stories of luxury. They know. The most valuable person is the one who can speak in such a way that after hearing their words, they want to live more correctly. Such a person seems simple. But in their simplicity lies depth. And in their silence lies strength. There is one mistake that almost everyone falls into. We talk too much about the mistakes of others. but too little about our own steps. The Stoics warned. When you look at the shortcomings of others, you lose sight of the path you must take yourself. Every person carries within them a whole story. Wounds, fears, misconceptions, upbringing. Those painful experiences that they will not share with anyone. And often it is precisely these invisible wounds that cause people to act awkwardly, rudely, and erroneously. Therefore, the wise do not judge hastily. They know that where we see a mistake, there may be pain we know nothing about. They do not waste their lives discussing the weaknesses of others. This activity destroys both those being talked about and those who speak. Instead of condemnation, they choose understanding. Instead of slander, patience. Instead of attacks, a calm channeling of light. And the most amazing thing, when you stop looking for shadows in others, you begin to see how much light you can discover within yourself. Ambition is strength. But the wrong kind of ambition is like fire in a child's hands. It can warm, or it can burn. The Stoics said, "Don't dream loudly of what you don't have. Admire what is already yours." A person who shouts about their goals often does so not for the sake of the goal, but to feel important in the eyes of others. But grand dreams rarely become reality. They crumble under the weight of their own pride. Therefore, the wise man keeps his big plans in silence. He doesn't throw around promises. He doesn't create illusions for the public. He simply walks, step by step, and tells the world only when what he has accomplished speaks louder than words. His joy lies not in applause, but in that quiet fire within, which appears when actions align with values. He doesn't chase fame. He doesn't seek recognition. Because he knows, external rewards are short-lived. But internal virtue lasts a lifetime. Wisdom, compassion, discipline, these are true achievements that no one can take away from you. Sometimes the path to the Stoic world doesn't feel like a heroic journey. It's more like a quiet corridor you walk down without confidence, and only then do you notice that the door you've opened leads to the life you've long sought. This path doesn't require strength. It doesn't require a perfect past. It doesn't require right answers. It requires only one thing, honesty with oneself. Because honesty becomes the inner compass that shows you the direction even on the foggiest day. It doesn't make the road easier, but it makes it real. And that's when the first real lesson comes. The Stoic path is chosen not by those who are already strong, but by those who are ready to become strong. There are rare moments in life that feel neither joy nor fear. It's a pause, so deep that for a second it seems as if the world itself has stopped breathing. You sit, staring into space, and suddenly you realize your life isn't chaos, as you once thought. It's not an endless struggle with the outside world. It's a struggle with what's happening within. And in this silence, a very simple, almost painful thought comes to mind. Everything I feel is created by my own thoughts. Not by circumstances. Not by people. Not by fate. But by your inner dialogue, the very one you rarely think about. At that moment, something inside you clicks. You understand, if your thoughts can destroy you, then they can also heal. This is the beginning of true inner strength. When the world falls silent and you hear yourself for the first time, words can build bridges, or destroy entire cities. They can inspire, or they can destroy the soul. The Stoics taught, not every word is worth speaking. Empty talk about the shortcomings of others is like poison. It poisons not only the one you're talking about, but yourself as well. Instead of gossip, choose conversations about meaning, about virtue, about life. Discuss ideas that help you grow, not condemn you. Every word is a chance to make the world a little better. Or a chance to plunge yourself and those around you into darkness. That's why a wise person remains silent about what he cannot change, speaking only what he can improve. He understands, right speech is like a quiet light, illuminating the path for others without blinding anyone. Silence and words are two sides of the same power. Use them wisely, and your inner world will remain strong, and your life, calm and clear. Death is always near. Not as an enemy, not as a scary ghost, but as a quiet teacher. It reminds us, everything we put off until tomorrow, can disappear forever. The Stoics teach us to accept it calmly. Not to fear, not to hide, but to use this fact as a beacon. Every day is precious. Every moment is a chance to truly live it. Don't waste your energy complaining about fate or fearing the future. What is truly within your control is today, now. How you live this day, what you choose to do, what words you speak. Use your time wisely. Forgive, love, act. Death gives meaning to your choices. And it is death that teaches you to value the present most of all. Live in such a way that every moment is filled with virtue. So that when the end comes, you can say, I have not wasted my life.